Hello everyone that's joining session. I'll be giving it a few minutes before we begin to join in and be on the platform. And once you're here, all of you, we're going to begin. Just for everyone's information, live on Instagram and on YouTube. So, looking at both directions and talking to everyone. Hi, Smriti. Smriti is our lead and coach, and she'll be answering any questions that you have on Instagram, and will be helping me out in the live. And hi to everyone on Instagram that's joining in. And today's is a bit of an interesting topic. We focus um, balance for better, which is tomorrow is the International and this year is Balance for Better, and they're focusing on gender equality. So usually on our live session, we have a topic that we talk on, and we sort of give information on that topic, and we do a question and answer round. So usually that's what happens. But today we're going to be doing discussion about what you guys think on this topic. I'll be giving my own views on this topic as well. And that's why I'm sitting down. I'm relaxed and ready to chat with all of you all. Hi, Smiti, another coach of ours here. I can see so many people joining in, and I'm really glad to have you all. So, we're going to be focusing on Women's Day and the theme for this time. And of course, it's not only for women. We discussion. My only request is to be a little bit sensitive to other people's comments and thoughts. Everyone is open to share your views and your comments, but just be mindful about addressing them. And if you're replying to someone else, be a little sensitive about what you're saying. And we really appreciate that. And we want to build a supportive community here on Wise on our live sessions and on our Instagram and YouTube account. Today on Women's Day, and the theme for this time, which is might have seen everyone doing this picture, which signifies balance and gender equality. So I'm going to start off with um, what my opinion is. And generally, I think for a long time, there has this topic has been in existence. Women don't get treated fair. There's an inequality seen in all fields of life, in work, in any position that a woman has to get in. I mean, there are examples of places where women not to drive or not allowed to. There's a lot of inequality in a lot of places that did exist and still does exist in a lot of forms. And now that we are being more aware, we are starting to question more things, and we're starting to be more aware of things. um, People are beginning to topic. And I think more importantly than focusing on the men, I think us as women need to focus on this topic even more, because sometimes we ourselves let us we don't think that we are worthy enough of something or important enough to be at a certain position, and we um, let ourselves down in such a situation. So are thinking a little differently. If we can encourage our sisters, our friends, our daughters, and make them more empowered, I think a lot of change can happen, and a lot of change is possible in terms of gender equality. Consideration is given to women and the equality. I think still inequality that can be seen. Maybe some have experienced it, maybe some haven't, but it does around. So I want to know your opinions. I want to know if you have any questions about this. I mean, we're all here to learn and learn from each other. So please, I'm opening up the floor for this discussion and Women's Day, and the theme this time, which is balance for better. And also, I think an important aspect of this whole topic is that if we are aware inequality, what do we do? Do we let it say that it's not my thing, or it doesn't involve me, and what should I be doing? Should part in this, doesn't involve me, should I step up? um, I mean, there's a big question in what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. So, for everyone that's joining in, hi, everyone's saying hi. Hello from Germany. Hello from India, from me, and for everyone that's joining in, about gender equality and what your opinion is on this topic. So I was talking about, if we know that someone is not being treated well, or someone has, you're seeing inequality, a man or a woman, you, start, would you step in and try to do that? I know a lot of us will first think, what is this, or should I be doing this, or me? You know, what, we think about those practical things first. But I think in some way or the other, we are all capable of making change, form, we're all, making change happen. So if we can in some way, we have that responsibility as citizens of the world to make this change happen, to make something of a difference in this world. And we might not be in a position of power, say, in the government, in the law field, but we can do something in our own way to make a difference. Like, for me, taking part in such live sessions and talking to you all, and bringing my information background or my personal life, and sharing it with you, and if it makes a difference even in one person's life, or I can give one small advice that can help one of you, I think that's a big achievement in my life. So each of us is therefore capable of doing something big or small in their own life, and we have to choose. um, we have to choose about what we want to do and what we can do. So there's a lot of questions about topics that if we are talking about that. Sarah is saying that, can we do a talk about anxiety issues for women? Definitely, we'll keep that in mind for one of our next sessions, Sarah. Kira is saying, if you treat one person right with equality in mind, you will give an example for others. That's such a great comment, Kira. Thank you for that. I think gender inequality starts with first treating everyone same, be it, um, you know, be it your older person or younger person, or male, female, gender, any uh, area of life. If you can start with treating people with respect, with with equality, like you said, Kira, I think we can make a difference in a huge sense. I think, that is something that we miss out. We think, okay, this person is in power, a greater status than me, then I should treat this person well. If this person is not of my status, or maybe, younger than me, or bully that person around, and that's not fair, and that's now not how the world should be. If each one of us starts to try to be better, try to um, educate others about being nice to others, basic kindness to others, I think we can make a huge difference in the world. And I think, from our coaches, if you're here, Smriti and Smiti, what do you think about this topic, and what are your views on it? What do you think about treating others with equality? um, Smriti says that do unto others as you want it to be done to you, and that is, one of the ways that if you don't want to be treated badly, then why would you treat others badly? If you do not want to be disrespected, why would you disrespect others? Huge, huge thing to keep in mind and follow your life with, with this learning that if I'm hurting someone, eventually someone might come around that will hurt me. Do I want that way? Do I want to be hurt in that sense, talked to in that way? uh, I think a lot of us are guilty talk down unknowingly, can say towards someone in a very profound way, and years later that person can recall, oh, Roma, you said that Roma was rude to me that one time, and some people will keep that with them for a long time, and a long months and years to come. So responsibility you have in terms of how do you talk to your children, how do you how do you how do you treat your children, how do you speak to your children, how do you teach them to be better human beings, how do you teach them to be better individuals in this society, to do better than we have done in the past? How can we teach them? I think that's a huge responsibility that we have towards our children, to be persons, to be empathetic towards others. One of the key counseling skills is to have empathy, and that is to understand what the other person is going through. Maybe I've not been through a divorce or a break in my family, but the person in front of me has been. I don't need to have that experience to know what that person is experiencing. But if I can connect to that person's and understand how painful that situation the person is going through, and how hard that person is going through, hard time the person is going through, I think we can connect to people on a much deeper level. Just taking that time to understand, as Smriti has said, to stand up for yourself and friends. If you can, you see your colleague having a bad day, it can be so easy to say, oh my god, always grumpy, always in a bad mood. I'm just going to ignore this person. But maybe that person has no one to has no one to reach out to. And maybe if that one day you go and say, "Is something up? Can I help you?" Maybe that's going to make a whole lot of difference. I remember someone telling me that just telling someone that they look good today or they look pretty today, boost a person's self confidence so much. It may not do much to you, but it'll help the other person if you can just appreciate something that they've done, something that they've done to, they've maybe dressed up a little differently for work. So you can do a lot to change someone's mood, someone's day, if you only take the time and the effort to do so. A lot of comments, guys. So I'm waiting for you to waiting for all of you to tell me about what you think about gender equality, with year's theme for the International Women's Day. What do you think about Women's Day and women's rights in general? Please share your thoughts. To be a part of this discussion and hear your opinions on this topic. And Smriti is saying that balance for better would be when you contribute to gender based equality by giving opportunities to people based not on gender. I think that is a very huge comment there, Smriti, because I think a lot of us have in their life maybe experienced some form that you think that maybe someone has gotten priority over you, because of gender, because of other um, consideration rather than the merit and how good they are at their job. Um, if this has happened to you, we would like to share, your experiences and how you've been through. Smriti, thanks for bringing that up. That we have experiences that have shaped us, have formed us, could be based on some inequality that has happened in your life. Maybe it's not even gender based, but if it was gender based, that would be great to hear from you. But what have you experienced and what have you gone through? I personally, I'm trying to think of an incident where someone was biased to me because I'm a woman. There's an underlying bias when it comes to women. Like for example, if I want to carry something heavy and a man that, they'd probably rush and say, "Oh, I got this," when I haven't asked for help. And it's because maybe they think I'm a woman and I can't, lift that load up. Um, Usually, if I'm not able to, I would definitely ask for help. But usually, do have the strength, and a lot of women work out and go to gym and they lift weights, and they're quite capable of lifting up their own load when it comes to that. But these are just basic things that I'm mentioning. Um, Unknowingly we create this prejudice, as you said, Smriti. um, and they talk, and it happens that women are treated differently. Women are treated differently because us, or the way that we talk, or we because we are to be more delicate rather than strong, and that is what has been portrayed of us, portrayed as a woman in the society in general. um, I'm just reading through the Val. I'm pronouncing that. Uh, that you're talking about, that in India we don't talk about periods or menstruation, and women think it's a bad thing, or that's a very important thing that you've mentioned, because a lot of us something, women should not be touched at that time, and olden days thinking is that it's impure and you should stay away. Um, put you in some kind of a disease, in terms if you come in contact with a woman that has menstruation. I think all of these things that have been built up built up as myths, as superstitions, and is about if the not sure if it's the network, but hopefully you can hear my voice. The video is on, I think it's more clearer on Instagram, if it's not so clear on YouTube guys, for the network. um, and talking about menstruation and how it affects women, and how we are taught to perceive it um, as keeping the society, and women can only educate other people about this, about the why a disease or an illness, but it's a natural process that a woman goes that her body goes through. I think I missed a point here. um, says that it's really important for people to get out of the basic idea of differentiating male and female for gender equality. Like there should be no reservation for women seats in public buses. I think that does happen is that women who are pregnant, or women who are differentiating, um, differentiating women and men in terms of these, and having special reservations can put us into a different class of people, that they do need reservation, that they do need attention. They're not equal to everyone else. So enjoy that point. um, um, Mahujan says that to say that there are all of these special events for equality to me means that equality does not exist just yet. And that is true. I think that is the reason we are talking about it, because on some level, even though there are laws in place to protect equality, women, men, all of that, there is still discrimination that happens in terms of gender, in terms of age, in terms of religion, in terms of a lot of things that we put people into, and understanding that we don't need to discriminate, that we are all equal, and work in our lives, the hard work that we put, the effort that we put, the time that we take to make our life better should count, rather than the way that I look, the way that I dress, the way that I speak, the country that I come from, the religion that I'm. It shouldn't matter. It should matter what kind of a person I am. Um, uh, I think a lot of people on YouTube are having a difficulty streaming, so I'm not what's happening there. Once again for that. Leave in your comments and we'll get back to you. We are talking about gender equality because this is the theme for this year's International Women's Day with March, and it's called Balance for Better, and it talks about equality in workplace, in governments, in all areas in life. Um, and just equal. I think it is not only for women, it is just for each and every person out there to have a equal standing in this world based on just who they are and what their own hard work is. And that is what we've been discussing. So at times, like a lot of inequality happens when our own thinking comes into place, where we think we're not good enough, where we think that we don't deserve a certain position or a certain place. And if we individually start working on ourselves, giving ourselves value, building our self confidence up, working on our self esteem, because we have a lot of people out there who so good about themselves. I was one of them when I was younger, that I didn't have a lot of self confidence. I judged myself, always think if I'm good enough, always think if I'm doing good enough, and always doubting myself. And I somewhere created that inequality and in turn created that inequality in my life. And if that happened, I think in my life I'm um, a whole lot um, for the inequality in my life, because I had a big part to play in it. So I think change begins with us, and begins with how we think and how we perceive the world. And when we start to change our thought process and reflect that in the way that we behave and the things that we do, you will see that in the people around you as well, because you will set a standard up for yourself, to be treated equally and to be wanting better for your life. Smriti says that she remembers being in a different country and she was not allowed to work due to her visa status, and that led to um, her being in a very serious phase. And that's, I mean, that is really, because of the way that your experience was, and the way that struggled through that, and it caused a depressive phase for you. Only you know how you dealt with it and how difficult it must have for you. And but you worked through it and you pushed through it, and you you didn't let that phase define you, Smriti. I think that is where to see someone like you, because I really look up to you, just saying that I'm your fan, and I really admire the work that you do. So, thank you for sharing your personal experience. I think as coaches, as psychologists, we think twice before sharing our own experiences. And I really admire people who talk about their own shortcomings as a way of other people understanding that we are human, that we are, we are capable of power, the same pain that everyone else feels. So thank you, Smriti. Francesca says that I think that's a great point. We really need self-worth. Yes, definitely. Uh, um, and reader number 7, to acknowledge your worth when you hate yourself. Um, that's a very deep topic, to get into, which is self-hate. It comes probably from a lot of past experiences about the way you have been, you have been experiencing things in your life. And I would suggest that the smallest thing you could do is think of something good in your day, not about your whole life, not about the entire, but just today. And if you can start with that day, that thing, create a box that is full of positive memories that you're building, and then you can start to work on your past and the things that have to, learn to love yourself. It's a whole journey that we all go through in our life. It's something that we all have to experience and all have to go through, and that is what we need to try every day. Cat Lover and Love says that your app is awesome. It's making me smile. I really appreciate that. Kira, we're almost at the end of the live session. But if you go to Instagram, our account is Wiser Buddy, and you can check out the live session there, and join us on any of our posts that are there. And you can also direct messages over there. Just taking a last few comments before we wrap up for uh, Janelle, is that right? Am I pronouncing it right? That why not, as I'm having a lot of problems in my life. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for appreciating us. We try in small ways to make changes that we can to help each and every one of out of you out there. We might not be able to reach each and every, but this is our small effort in trying to do that. Um, so I just want to wrap up today's session. I want to thank everyone that joined me on Instagram and on YouTube. Sorry for any disturbances that was there on YouTube. Today's topic was on gender, equality, and tomorrow is International Women's Day. So wishing everyone a happy Women's Day. And I think the change begins with us. The more we learn, understand ourselves, and love ourselves, the more it's going to help us, do better for ourselves, do better for the people around us, for our future generation. To love yourself, though sometimes we can be unlovable and difficult to love. That is when we need to love ourselves even more, forgive ourselves more, and just try to make each day count. It's a short life. We have a lot to do. There's a lot to life. If you can start small, start simple, eventually you will get there. Eventually you will get to live the life you want to live. Eventually you want to be living for yourself, for your family, and remember that you're worth it. You're in this world with some not figured that out yet, but eventually you will. Hang in there, talk to Wise, offer you to support you in any way we can. We are also humans, so we might make some mistakes along the way, but have patience with us. And if you're very busy, we are willing to hear it out, and we're here for you. So happy Women's Day. Learn to love yourself and have a good day and a good wherever you are. And we'll catch you in our next live session. Till then, take care and goodbye.